afternoon, and thank you, Dr. Tasha, for letting me participate in your at-home interview for Keep Your Kleenex. So, please introduce yourself and your book.
Okay, I am, as you said, Dr. Natashia Stafford-Cotton, Dr. Tasha, Dr. Auntie Tasha, Dr. Sister Tasha. You get the gist. Anyway, I am married. I have 4 children together between us. I have 4 wonderful dogs. I am a mother, a corporate manager. I am your sister, your friend, your auntie mama, your judge, and your jury. No, I am who I am, and who do men say I am? I'll let everybody else tell me. If you know me, you know me, and if you don't, now you do. So, the book, the Keep Your Kleenex book, here it is. I have my wonderful copy here. The book is basically what started out as a journal. Over 10 years ago, my husband was diagnosed with a rare type of cancer, and it started off with what I was jotting down was new information or terms, and here or there questions that I wanted to follow up and ask, maybe some fears. I sprinkled in a prayer or two, and so that's how it started. However, I must say that I stopped writing and putting notes in that journal as we got into the every days of his diagnosis and the treatment, and so I put it away. In essence, the book kind of wrote itself over these last 10 years.
So I know you touched a little bit on this already, but what inspired you to write Keep Your Kleenex?
So the inspiration, the reason why I was led or felt impressed to share in this, very public way was over these, like I said, almost 11 years, as I am a person who is, always giving, or I come in contact with people as a manager. Sometimes, staff come in and they're not their best selves, and they're sharing. And then I, try to share with people, what I've gone through, what I'm dealing with. And they're completely surprised and thrown off by the gravity of what I have been experiencing in my life. And they say, you gotta be kidding me. That's what you're dealing with. And, I would have this response, be it people at church, when I would say, what, sister or brother so-and-so, you're going through something, let me share with you. God would lead me to share a little bit, maybe at the end of service, and people would just be amazed, and they would think you must be some super spiritual, powerful person. I'm like, absolutely not. So I knew then that this was a bigger message for others. It wasn't just my testimony. It wasn't just something that me and my family were going through. There was benefit to others in the body at large.
What is the significance of the title?
Listen, when I think when I look at this title, I need y'all to understand this title. It wasn't even the title. When I thought, okay, now I'm going to write this book, the title was something like D-Days, and from diagnosis to deliverance, and that is still a part of the context, but I had a different title. But when I got to the end, and I was wrapping up, so to speak, these last 10 years of my life, and I thought about the times where I was emotional and I didn't know the reason why. I wanted people to understand something about tears, and it's a universal language to grab Kleenex, right? You want to grab Kleenex, and as soon as you think someone's emotional, to give them Kleenex and to kind of bring them back and, fix their face, if you would, and, kind of change the emotion that's happening. And so for me, I've learned through this process that don't give me Kleenex. My tears need to fall. God treasures these tears. He knows the source of them. Sometimes I didn't know why I was crying. And so for me, keep your Kleenex. Don't interrupt this process between me and God that has to happen, that needs to cleanse my heart and my soul. So keep your Kleenex. That's pretty much the gist of it.
What is the ultimate message that you would like to convey to your readers?
The ultimate message. So I think it depends on the reader. I think that if you're the person who has the diagnosis, or you're the person who had the accident, that was divorced, if you're the primary impact individual of some devastation or disruption in your life, then the message for you is that you survived. Whatever that initial trauma was that day, the next day when you woke up and your eyes open, you survived. So once you put your foot on the ground, be intentionally deliberate about living, not just existing, and what that looks like, and to be deliberate in what you consume, and be deliberate and intentional about how you move going forward. If you're the caretaker, if you're the inner circle, if you're the best friend, it kind of gives you the vantage point that don't allow your loved one to keep looking back. You can't get very far when you keep looking back. And it's also protecting them and protecting you, and what that looks like, how to set boundaries and within the devastation, or if you would, the chaos, and then how to move forward and ask God to create all things new. It's really a vantage point, depending on where you are in your life, that you can find benefit from how to be intentional in your faith, your motivation, your perseverance. It's more so along those lines.
Where can we get a copy of your book, and how can we know more about you?
Back to this beautiful book, y'all. This book is it's amazing to me. When I read it in hindsight from cover to cover, it just gives me joy to know that I can share and be a help. And so you can get this book anywhere. Online retailers, just type in the name, Keep Your Kleenex, and you can go to Amazon, you can go to Barnes & Nobles, you can walk into your local bookstore. If it's not on the shelf, you can go to the counter, ask them to order it for you, they'll send it to your door. But you can also go to my website, Natashia Stafford.com. There's an outlet where you can order from there, and you can learn about what I'm doing. There's more interviews on there. Not as relaxed as this one, but there's interviews, there's radio, and I've done some other things, articles in magazines. You can just learn a bit more about me, and www.natashiastafford.com is all things Keep Your Kleenex. Bye-bye.